Have you ever wanted to know the latest updates on where you can and can't park your motorhome in towns and beauty spots? Or why your favourite campsites might be closing? Did you know the Scottish Government are looking into stopping motorhomes and campervans from parking overnight along the North Coast 500 and the Highlands of Scotland, forcing you into campsites? Well, you've come to the right channel. Welcome your faces to Motorhome and Campervan news. I'm Ads, thank you very much for joining me. If you're interested in keeping up to date on news about motorhoming, campervanning or caravanning, then why not subscribe? I'm trying to reach 5,000 subs before the end of the year, and feel free to use the email in the video description to send me news that I may have missed. Motorhome News is brought to you in association with Caravan Radio for the caravan and motorhome community. I guess my first piece of news is that Caravan Radio has stepped up a gear and now has regular shows from Andy and Claire from St. Christopher of Atlantis, Dan Trudgeon from the Trudgeons, and Graham the Caravan vlogger, and not forgetting tips with Motorhome Matt. If any of that sounds interesting to you, then you can listen online at caravanradio.co.uk 24 hours a day, or you can scan this code. We're going to start off with a quick fire roundup on the latest news regarding banning motorhomes. North Yorkshire Council have received over 2,000 complaints from local residents about motorhome owners parking overnight outside their property. But why have motorhomes and campervans just started parking in the streets, I hear you ask? Well, North Yorkshire Council introduced a trial parking ban, stopping motorhomes and campervans from parking at several places, including the popular Royal Albert Drive in Scarborough. The ban means that campervans are not allowed to park at these locations between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. But rather than resolve the problem of overcrowding in these areas, it appears that the ban has pushed the vans into the nearby streets and has simply moved the problem on. A councillor said, campervans are now parking directly outside homes overnight, discharging grey water into verges, using public taps, hanging washing on hedges, and in some cases causing noise and intimidation. The council has confirmed that a review of the trial would look at options, including the reinstatement of overnight parking on Royal Albert Drive, with enforcement and signs in the affected residential areas. Moray Council has agreed to a 12-month pilot scheme to allow motorhomes to stay overnight at the Station Road car park in Burghead. The pilot scheme will be introduced in the summer of 2026, and if successful, it may pave the way for permanent sites at 10 other locations. To park overnight will cost a voluntary £7. Next, we have a good and bad news situation with Thanet Council. They have 17 designated overnight motorhome parking spaces across 4 car parks in the district, and they are expanding that to 30 spaces. However, you can't sleep in your motorhome. Here, have your cake, but you can't eat it. The council is fully aware of this and is working towards getting the contradiction lifted. They are also looking to get waste facilities in some locations. Perth and Kinross Council have installed a height barrier at the Burley Sands car park overlooking Loch Leven. The beauty spot has been described as being like the Wild West, with nature reserve staff being verbally abused, threatened, and campers leaving behind widespread human waste and litter. And finally, I came across a petition to ban restrictions on overnight parking for motorhomes and campervans. The petition has now closed and received over 4,500 signatures. It needed 10,000 to get the government to respond. Looking at the map of the responses, it looks like that most of the signatures came from the southwest England, Wales and the north of England. Some campsite news now. Northbrook Farm Caravan and Motorhome Club site in Worthing on the south coast is to be demolished for 130 new homes. The land has been sold to a development company by the Adur and Worthing councils. The lease of the land to the club wasn't renewed in 2023, and so the club had to close the campsite. However, the club purchased the nearby Littlehampton Club campsite for this eventuality. Here's hoping the new homes come with plenty of parking. With the seafront full most summer evenings, you never know who might take a nostalgic detour through the old Northbrook Farm campsite. 10 campsites in the New Forest are in the news again regarding their future and the impact they have on the environment. The New Forest verderers have been calling for the campsites to be moved to different locations for years. A couple of years ago, the management of the campsites changed from the Camping and Caravanning Club to Camping New Forest. The verderers are saying that any application to renew or extend the licence would have to be approved by the verderers. A verderers spokesperson said camping needs to be in the right place, not on a site for special scientific interest or special area of conservation. Which to me sounds like they are stating that the campsites were created on the special interest sites, which is incorrect. The campsites came first in the 1970s. A Forestry England spokesperson said, "We are reviewing and discussing these matters with the verderers to confirm the legal requirements. We don't have any current plans to permanently close sites." I think the idea of moving these campsites is just a nicer way of saying close them down and open another elsewhere. Moving 10 campsites, each with between 100 and 500 pitches, would be impossible. And of course, they wouldn't be the same campsites anymore. What appeals to campers is that you're pitching your tent, caravan or motorhome in amongst the forest with the wild ponies, donkeys and even deer. You're not going to be able to move any of these, especially the trees. Each campsite has a different character and history. Most of them are situated on old RAF World War II bases and runways, which all adds to the appeal along with the amazing countryside. In other news, from spring 2026, Forestry England is to start charging £1.50 per hour to park in one of the 130 New Forest car parks. I have really sad news now. I didn't want to report this and lower the tone, but I think it's important. So here goes. A couple from Dorset have been found dead in their campervan parked up down Pound Lane in Burley. Christopher Cole, 45, and Kaylee Cole, 38, were attending the New Forest Cider Festival, selling handmade copper art, clothing and jewellery from their marquee. The cause of death is unknown, but I suspect it was carbon monoxide poisoning, which brings me to why I think this is important. In the UK, around 50 people die and 200 people are hospitalised due to carbon monoxide poisoning. It is the main cause of death to campers, be it in a tent, caravan or motorhome. Carbon monoxide is a colourless, odourless gas which is produced by incomplete burning of organic materials like wood, gas, oil and charcoal. Symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning include headaches, dizziness, weakness, upset stomach, vomiting, chest pain and confusion. So if you or someone else in your tent or van starts getting a headache or feeling dizzy or sick, especially while cooking, then get out as quickly as possible because it doesn't take long to become a serious problem. The things you can do to avoid carbon monoxide poisoning include cracking a window while you are cooking, not bringing a burner or a barbecue inside, get yourself a carbon monoxide alarm and a habitation check to make sure the gas burners are functioning correctly. If you already have a carbon monoxide alarm, then make sure it's positioned correctly and check the batteries annually. And if your alarm keeps going off giving you a headache, then don't turn it off, get out. A man from Barnsley has been arrested for importing 100 kilograms of ketamine into the UK using his motorhome as a mule travelling by ferry from Rotterdam. Further investigation found that, well, we'll call him Russell King because that's his name, age 63, was also involved in importing and supplying 70 kilograms of cannabis and over 600 kilograms of ketamine the previous year. The drugs had a street value of £2 million, and the police said that the operation had dismantled a significant supply chain into the UK from Europe. He was jailed for 22 years after admitting importing ketamine, conspiracy to import cannabis, ketamine and cocaine, that's the devil's dandruff, and possession with intent to supply. To be honest with you, I don't know why I'm actually reporting this. This sort of thing happens all the time, doesn't it? It's actually quite rife, especially amongst the older caravanners and motorhomers. We're forever carting drugs around, mainly pills, but occasionally needles as well, and we stash them in those high-tech smuggling containers labelled Mun, Chew and Wed, etc. Then we have to take them in the morning and in the evening with or without food, depending what the instructions are from our doctor. A petition has been created calling for the banning of motorhomes and campervans from parking overnight outside proper areas in the Highlands of Scotland. The administrator of the Facebook campaign group NC500 The Dirty Truth, Robin Pettigrew, wants to make parts of the Scottish Outdoor Access Code legally enforceable. The petition aims to explicitly prohibit camping in a vehicle outside of designated camping zones and to make the provisions of the code legally enforceable by introducing dedicated enforcement teams and fines for violations. It reads, Scotland's tourism is an environmental catastrophe. The evidence is undeniable. Wildfires destroying ancient habitats, raw sewage and waste poisoning our waterways, protected species disturbed, rare flora trampled, emergency services blocked by illegally parked vehicles. The current Scottish Outdoor Access Code is powerless and routinely ignored by irresponsible tourists and vehicle rental companies claiming access rights. This isn't about restricting access, it's about ensuring there's something left to access. Mr. Pettigrew believes that vehicle camping is the main cause of a number of environmental issues. He said it has brought significant problems like wildfires or the pollution of waters and land by toilet cassettes emptied outdoors. He believes that the NC500 and the Highlands should use the model used in New Zealand, where you can overnight for free in certain designated areas, so long as the van is a certified self-contained vehicle. If it's not, then you must stay at campsites. So not only would your van need its own toilet, which is fine, but it also needs to be certified, meaning that self-built vans would probably have to use campsites. As of recording, the petition has over 1,000 signatures and is now under consideration by the Scottish Government. You'll find a link to the petition in the video description if you want to check it out. But what are your views on the subject? I'm afraid that's all we got time for. I'd love to know your thoughts on today's news. Let me know in the doobly-doo. Don't forget to hit the like and the hype buttons. And if you don't want to miss the next exciting Motorhome news episode, then hit that subscribe button to get future updates. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.